So I want to start by saying, shout out to the Black American family. I love y'all. Uh, Chosen people, righteous people, moral people. I love y'all. Y'all don't promote us to do the bad things that these other communities do. Psalms 83. So let me give you a breakdown of, because a lot of these immigrants that break the law, they don't understand how the United States really works, right? Let me give you a crash course of what a lot of these criminals are going to face in the system of which they decide to do whatever in, right? And it has spiritual significance. So let me start by saying it like this. It doesn't matter your belief system, right? Let's say you believe in the karma. Let's say that you believe in all that stuff, right? Or higher power, right? So there are certain rules and guidelines where if you do things, there's certain things that you get, right? And so what a lot of people don't understand is there's spiritual aspects to what you're doing. So you're making contracts with entities, and actually when you're putting contracts, it says entities, all this other stuff. It gets real deep, especially with the United States. And so what a lot of you guys don't understand is you made a lot of these people, they made a deal with the devil and he's come to collect. So a lot of people from across the waters, they think that everything is a game. They think that a scam is finding a loophole. They think a scam is finding a cheat code. Like it's a cheat code to life. Like I can do this, I can put this in, and then I can win the game. The United States does not operate like you guys' failed countries. So what a lot of you guys don't understand is the United States at the end of the day is a business. But when you break spiritual laws and you make certain contracts, you allow yourself to now, get divine judgment, meaning that wicked people get to do wicked things to you and stuff like that. That's kind of like the concept of being in hell and, the devils and demons torturing you, right? And so a lot of people are going to get exactly what they made fun of. Some people made fun of people being in bondage. Some people made fun of people being in slavery and stuff. And now they're about to witness some of these same things firsthand. So what do I mean? So when it comes to making a deal with the devil, right? So you can do this on all levels. You can sign a contract, become a superstar, or you can daily decide to give into temptation and do whatever evil it is that you like to do, which a lot of these people is petty theft, right? And so what petty theft is, it's like you think I could take here, there, everywhere, which they do that a lot in their country. Like I could tell you about how if you do deals and you're speaking in English, they'll be talking between each other, throw an extra tax on it, and then they'll both get money while you're doing deals with them just translating, because they will slight of the hand type thing. So petty theft, right? So the petty thief thinks, oh, okay, I can do this and I will get away with it. It won't be that big of a deal. So a lot of them, they're petty thieves, right? And so Walmart's even doing this where they calculated all of this to a felony. So if you face recognition, it'll catch up to you, right? And so a lot of these people, they thought that they were getting away with the system when the system always knew that you would do that. So the system in the United States, a lot of it is still the trust system. For instance, your car can go all the way up to 140 miles per hour. But if you go 140 miles per hour in a 80, you got a super speeder, you're going to jail. In the United States, like I said, it's totally different. In the United States, unlike Africa, because I'm talking to a lot of these Africans, they don't freaking know and they don't follow the law anyways. So if you go way excessively over the speed limit, they can throw you in prison or jail that day, because that could go reckless, right? It just depends on how bad your thing is, right? And so a lot of these petty thieves, right, they kept telling their community, oh, it's okay, they're doing this little thing, right? So all of them think that they're at the level of petty theft. But what they didn't understand is, as a community, they did a deal with the devil, and they pretty much said, hey, I'm going to be a corrupt community. I'm going to continue to be petty thieves, and I'm going to make my kids petty thieves. And so Their whole lifestyle is built upon, I'm just stealing a little bit, there's other people stealing. But what they don't understand is everybody has to deal with that devil, and everybody has to deal with their creator. Some people are trying to meet the judge or their maker sooner than other people, and this is why people make these decisions. And so once all of that stuff happens, you have a contract period, right? So just like you guys thought, I think the temporary was probably like the deal with the devil, right? So you were supposed to be here. You had a certain amount of time to righteously make money, righteously build your community. And if you actually was building your community instead of blowing it on luxury things and trying to live a unrighteous lifestyle, your community would have been built for you to go back to, and you would have been happy to go back to it. But you didn't do that. You splurged the money. You were stealing. And so now that the devil has come to collect, you didn't do anything righteous with your opportunity and your time. And so you thought it was petty theft, but he's like, oh no. You see, I counted everything you guys did collectively. So a lot of you guys think you're going to get off on, oh, I didn't know, I'm just going to shift blame. But what you're not understanding is when you do $8 billion worth of damage, the American population is not going to look for you. So right now you have your community that's not supposed to be here, full of a lot of illegals and full of a lot of people that have no power in the United States, and you demonize the people in the United States, and you talk bad about the United States and the people of the United States. And so you have nobody that actually would be able to vouch for you in the United States. So most of you guys scam, do all this other stuff, and then you think that everybody's going to look the other way. So collectively, you've done $8 billion or more worth of damage. So now also in the United States, there's prison systems that have said that they were supposed to get a certain amount of workers, right? And so the cool thing about this president, I know a lot of people have all these things to say about different people, but certain people are the right people for a certain job. So getting rid of garbage and throwing it to the garbage can, this president is definitely good for. And so you see, now they have a way that they can have people that broke in the law so badly that they can go disappear for a long period of time, and the United States population ain't gonna care. And now you got a problem solved. So criminals go where criminals go, and they get $8 billion worth of, they get to pay it back or whatever. But the way that karma and retribution works is like sevenfold. So you might have spent 5 years scamming off the American population, but you're most likely going to spend the rest of your life working for the American population. And that's how divine retribution works, because you should have been doing the right thing. And that's why even on the good end, if you do good things and invest it, then on the opposite end, you get good riches. This is why Black Americans, we've been working hard. We haven't did anything, said anything. We don't steal. We don't think, oh, I could have stole. I could have been living a good life for 2 years and throw the rest of my life away, because that's a lemming, that's a lemming brained person thinking, right? And so a lot of these communities made deals with the devil where they're thieves, criminals, etc., and they taught their children how to do it. You call it feeding them to the flame. It talks about that, giving them the bail in the scripture. And so all of these communities did this in Psalms 83. And so now you're about to see them reap the rewards of their benefits, right? And so what a lot of people don't understand is in the United States, we allow you to do things to a certain point and then they get you. For instance, sometimes a cop will let you go 5 miles over the speed limit because he knows eventually you're going to get so comfortable, you get to that 25 and he can give you $1,000 ticket. So that's pretty much what the United States did. You guys are not intelligent. You thought you were beating the system, but the system was always a trap. We do a honesty system here. That's why we keep our word here. That's why you can't keep your word in Africa, because there's no retribution, no judgment and stuff. So the reason why we have so many judges and police here and people that go after criminals, like the people that you guys raise and the criminality that you promote, is because we actually let you do stuff to a certain extent and then they go to you, right? Because in the United States, they get everybody, but they cash out when they need to. So right about now, they want to cash out. So like I said, dealing with the devil wants to cash out. But at the end of the day, it's always been a trap for immoral people, because this country was built upon, you could either blessings or curses, right? Because this land is actually biblical land. So all of those spiritual rules and regulations and guidelines, they apply here. Maybe not in wicked areas, but they apply here. So you'll learn.